All right, so we're told that Team Suicide Prevention is on its way to the finish. They're rolling from the Shell Station. So, again, Shell Station's 2.5 miles out. They should be here in less than 10 minutes. Yeah.
Now the worst thing is we put the up, and now we got to plug it. We got it. Next year, the year after, I'd like to do one in Arizona. In Utah, yeah. Yeah, we do one. Yeah. I'd like to do the stage with that. Honestly, I'd rather. Well, they say weird. That's like.
Good to see you, Che.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we have Team Suicide Prevention. 7 days, 19 hours, 34 minutes. Heading toward the finish line. I haven't gotten an update, but I do know they're rolling from the Shell station, so I'm thinking around 5 minutes at the most. Jeff Magnuson. Very good to see you across the line. So team suicide prevention is through Church Circle, so almost to green. So no, suicide prevention, you are not the last 8-person team. The team coming in tonight is also an 8-person. All right, that horn probably means they are in the lot. Maybe. The horn stops, so don't tire out your arms holding your phones up just yet. And even when we see them turn the corner, a lot of times they stop right there, so crew can come down. But you never know. A lot of times they roll through. Now, this team really owes you guys for your patience at the finish line. All right. Green Street. That means there are no more than 2 minutes out. What's that, Kurt? They stopped at a bar? They're pussers? Okay. Okay. You have the best laugh on the planet. I'm telling you, that laugh is infectious. Spuds McKenzie is here? Okay, now that horn, I think, means they're in the lot. Maybe. Oh, come on over to the finish chute. We got an 8-person team coming in. Be here very, very soon. Let's give them a cheer in. They're on their way. Come on over to the chute. All right, they got Nancy Guth coming over to cheer him in. All right, here's our riders. Seven days, 19 hours, 34 minutes. Riders, if we could please have you come up and remove your helmets. All right, let's hear it for Team Suicide Prevention, finishing with a time 7 days, 19 hours, 34 minutes. Here's Rick Bothling with your finishers medals.
It's so weird to look at your faces after looking at your butts for so long.
Now, Rick's being up a bike with some special significance. So tell us how this team came to be. Why did you bring these folks together to race RAM?
We're with Team Suicide Prevention, and Eric and I formed this team clear back in 2018. We were on another team at that time, and so it didn't correspond. We didn't get to go to RAM, and so we decided that we're going to form our own team. And so in 2019, we created this team, Team Suicide Prevention, and 220 COVID hit. And so our goal was for 221, and we made it. We're here.
So how do you two know each other? And again, where obviously this started from the idea of being on another team, but why is this a message you really wanted to get out?
So everybody knows somebody everybody has experienced loss in their life, and everybody on our team has experienced significant loss in the form of either a friend or a family member. These two bikes in front of us are people that are in the Tulsa, Oklahoma bicycle racing community, and they were our dear friends, and so we actually rode these across the finish in the starting line. And so our message is, be that light in someone's life, and just know the people in your life. And you'll notice on the back of our jerseys, we've got starfish. Find the starfish in your life that you can toss back into the sea and give a helping hand to if they need it. And, Bill and I have known each other. He's been taking me to task for many, many, many years. And, we've got like a loving father relationship. And I mean that in all of the most awesome of ways. He has truly been a mentor at every step of the way. And so, Bill called me about 4 years ago, I guess, in a somewhat of a panic. And, I'll let him tell his story, but he had experienced significant loss in his life, it was life-changing. And so we had already been talking about Race Across America. And as my friend to my right, Joel, likes to say is, wouldn't it be cool if, that's apparently what I said in relationship to RAM, but it was if we could ride our bikes across the United States advocating for mental health and suicide prevention. And then fast forward some time and we, the two individuals that these bikes represent, are with us in spirit. But all that transpired while we were just kind of thinking and dreaming about, doing Race Across America for advocating for mental health. And, we've all been fans of bike racing and raced our bikes and done some pretty, up until this point, interesting things on bikes. And now we can say we've ridden in honor of some wonderful people that are no longer with us. And so, our message all the way across the United States has been, be a beacon of light in someone's life. And that's what we've tried to do. And that's what we tried to do at every chance that we could. And, to that end, we took one of our other jerseys and across the way, everybody on this jersey at every convenience store, we were stopped. When you've got a shirt that says Team Suicide Prevention, people want to talk to you. And so only the back of this jersey had names on it when we started. And along the way, you'll see every sleeve, every place on the front. I mean, we've added hundreds of names to this jersey. And these represent people that are no longer with us, that, maybe they needed that lifeline, if you will, that helping hand. And so, again, I just reiterate that message that, be a lifeline and be a beacon of light in somebody's life. And so thank you for the opportunity to spread that message. And, what a wonderful event, amazing support. We kind of had no idea. We're all RAM rookies. I don't think that we'll be letting this go. And, these people are all roped in. We'll be back. And, I also want to say that there is absolutely no way anybody could do anything like this without a crew like ours right there. And so thank you guys, because we absolutely couldn't have done this without them. As Bill says, I need a ham sandwich. And so, and you're delirious. It's like, how do you even make a ham sandwich after you ride in the desert of Arizona? You have to have a crew to do it for you. And so thank you guys. And, we appreciate the organizers too. So.
Wait, Arizona is getting more plugs from this stage this morning.
So I will say this. I will say that the time stations in Ohio are amazing. And so I have to say, thank you guys to everybody in Ohio that, I think I gained like 17 pounds riding through Ohio. And today or last night, it did not feel awesome going over those mountains with all that pizza, but it sure did taste good.
Ohio, you need to cut sodium from your food so they don't swell. I have a name to add to your jersey.
Oh, thank you.
We noticed the starfish on the back. What is the significance of the semicolon? Go ahead.
So the purpose of the semicolon is, we all have a story in life, right? I mean, our life goes and goes and goes. And unfortunately, with suicide, you've just put a period in the end, right? When your life is taken, it is over. The story is over. The semicolon is to continue on, to keep living. The story will continue on through life, right? And so we're fighting for people's lives to continue instead of being hopeless and ending with the period.
I'd really like to just hear each of your motivation for being on this team, if that's all right.
Oh, I'm happy to tell you my story. I was a racer in a fundraiser in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I crashed 2 weeks before an obligation. And the gentleman at the end of this stage showed up without any invitation, without any knowledge, and helped me complete a 150-mile bike ride with one arm. So he asked me to join him. I had to say yes.
So you're going to ask him to come next year. Great.
I've already told him no.
So I lay the blame on Bill. He called me up one day. He says, "Hey, I hear you know how to ride a bike." And I couldn't say no to him. And I've been fortunate, but, I've had issues just like most people have. And, coming together with this wonderful group of people have helped me to appreciate what I have and to help others.
I've got to say, riding with one arm, 150 miles, you really showed some toughness to be out here and do this. How'd that compare to a pull maybe you weren't too excited about doing?
It wasn't that I was not excited about doing this. As a matter of fact, I was very excited about doing this.
Oh, I didn't mean about the entire ride, but there's got to be one time when it was your turn to get on the bike where you were like, oh, my God.
Well, the group that puts this race together publishes a profile of the land. So it doesn't take long for you to realize when the line goes upward, that's going to be one of those, oh, you can ride if you'd like, moments. Yeah. Well, let me say something about that. What you're seeing across this stage is a group of hard, tough individuals of all ages. Young, very young, and some of us getting close to retirement in maybe 10 or 20 years, or 73 with a pacemaker. So it can be done. It can really be done. Or an individual with asthma that can climb one of the Colorado passes and then complete this journey the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So this is not difficult. As bike riders that would even consider something like this, the riding isn't the difficult part. We're very, very capable and ready to go. Couldn't do anything like what the solo riders do, wouldn't want to. But the crew, no, I don't want to. The crew had to do the suffering, and they did well. And I wish Carter would be able to come up and tell his story, because that's one of the recent motivations for all of us to continue.
Anything to add?
No, I just really appreciate all of these people around me. And I'm not going to say I won't do it again, but right now I don't want to think about it.
I look forward to talking to you in a week.
Yeah. So there's a lot of reasons. I mean, for me wanting to do this as a kid, I think we all know loss. We all know hurt. We all have insecurities, and that's the whole stigma with mental health, is that we feel like if you go see a counselor, there's something wrong with you. And that's really not the truth, right? We all need support, and we all need help. We all need to learn how to work through things. No different than we all need to learn how to walk. We're not just born with that, And so as these So as these things in life, trouble haunt us, we have to learn how to get through it. And so this bicycle, this is one of my best friend, Todd Reed's bikes. He was a cyclist in Tulsa, really good friend of mine. About 4 years ago, I was riding home from Wednesday night ride, and I saw him sitting on a park bench, 9 o'clock at night, which is unusual because you should be going home. And so I pulled over to talk to him, and you can just see the look in his eye, that he was just really hurting. And so I stopped. I'm like, "Hey, Todd, what's going on?" And after hours and hours of talking, he's like, I was gonna take my life tonight, and you stopped and you talked to me and you gave me hope. And for years, him and I worked through stuff. We went to counseling. We talked through all these things together. And I told him, like, if you ever feel that way again, like, I want you to call me. I will always be here for you. And so one night he texted me about 12 o'clock at night, and I was writing some cards and talking to my wife. And I just said to him, I was like, hey, like, can I call you in the morning? You know, he just gives me a thumbs up text. And the morning never came. And the next day, his wife calls me, and we find him in the kitchen. And it's so difficult because I had so much guilt for so long. Like, what if I would have answered would he still be with us today? You know? And it was really hard to get past it. I also have to realize, like, I can't save everybody, right? I mean, it's everyone's responsibility to take care and love themselves, but we do have the power to love people, to connect with people, to help people, and help to be that light for them, just like he said. I want to be that light. And so we wrote in honor of Todd, and that's my reason for being here.
So I was taken in by this crew. You know, they're so welcoming. They just love to take any cyclists and help them. And so I got out on some gravel rides with these guys. And one day Bill comes up and he says, hey, you know, we're doing this race. Would you be interested? And I thought, well, what is this about? And before I knew it, I was on the team, whether I liked it or not. But I was so excited to be asked to join. And, you know, these guys are just so welcoming. Everyone pulled together so well. It's a true team effort. And when I heard about the cause, you know, that really resonated with me. I lost a good friend in college who took his life. Neil, we lost a high school classmate years ago. And so, and I've been in a place myself where I just felt like that was an option, but never did go that way. Thank goodness, and got the counseling and the help I needed. So I just wanted to spread this message and the awareness and the hope as part of this team.
That man down there on the end inspired me to do this race. I was a firefighter for a long time, and I saw a lot of people that took their lives, and I helped a lot of people that tried to take their lives. And then I got hurt, and I couldn't work anymore, so I got into a place where I thought maybe, you know, I'd be better off for my family if I wasn't here, because I can't work anymore. And but I got out of that place, and then Bill told me about the team and why I wanted to do it, what the goal was for suicide prevention. I thought, here's a way I can help. You know, I can still help. So.
In 2018, I was 31 years old, and I became the legal guardian of my then 16-year-old niece, who had really been suffering with some strong mental health problems and had tried taking her life multiple times. And over the next 2.5 years, she tried again twice while living with me, although she was in a safe environment. During that time, you know, I became a caregiver, and, you know, I was taking her to 3 and 4 doctor's appointments a week, and I put cameras in my house, and I locked up sharp objects, and I handed, you know, her medication, and had to, you know, watch her shave her legs. And I mean, just every imaginable a bit of stress that was on my weight. I was unmarried. I was doing it by myself. I'd never had kids before. I was working full time, and there was just so much going on in my life. And then on November 11th of 2019, a long-term and significant relationship in my life came to an end, and I lost it. Everything I had been trying to compartmentalize, and the stress of being a caregiver, and then things that have happened, you know, in my adolescence and early adult years, just like opened like a flood, and I couldn't compartmentalize anything anymore. And I almost took my own life that night. So I'm writing, you know, not just for my niece, but for myself. You know, I'm not somebody that suffers from long-term depression or mental health issues. I mean, I was just a normal person that took on too much and became overwhelmed. And so, like, I want other people to know that, you know, just because somebody's struggling doesn't mean that they're sick. You know, this can literally happen to anybody with the perfect storm. So, you know, I just want everyone to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and no matter, you know, the clouds in front of you, you know, eventually you're going to see some sun. You just have to hold on, and that's when you know, reach out for the people around you, and I'm really honored to be a part of this team.
You have such an important message. Thank you so much for sharing your stories. Crew, can you come up and take a photo with the team?
I would like to thank our crew. They're a wonderful group. We couldn't have done this without them. They were all individually picked because we love them so much. And after this is over, I hope they still love us. I know the hardest work is done by this crew. We have drivers, we have navigators, and we have different egos and different people, and we all work through that. And I love that about this group, is that we all work together, we all worked hard, and we all share a lot of love and compassion and feelings for each other, and which makes us stronger together. And that's what we have. We have a unity, we have a family that we care about, and we love each other, and we build from that. So what we're trying to do is, just like Mike said, we're trying to share the love. We're trying to tell people that your life matters. And because of that, we're here as a team. And everyone's life matters. Yes.
And Carter, your name was brought up. We'd love to hear your story. And I love that you have a Suffer Better shirt.
Yeah. So I met these guys under some pretty interesting circumstances. So when I was 17, I pulled a bike out of the trash and started riding across the country. And about halfway through, I was totally exhausted and totally shot. My bike was basically falling apart. And a gentleman I met in Illinois posted in the Tulsa cycling group. And Mike G came into contact with me, got my phone number, called me, took me out to lunch. And we started talking about, why I started this journey and, why I decided to ride my bike across the country. And it was because I was going to kill myself, I hit rock bottom. I'd been institutionalized twice. I'd played every card I knew. I was really hopeless. So I decided to have, one last hurrah, right? Give it everything I got. So, I had nothing to lose. I pulled the bike out of the trash and ran across the country, and I'm still kind of searching, looking for something. And, I tell Mike my story. He tells me he's on this team called Team Suicide Prevention. It's like, wow, that's interesting. Maybe I could, help you out with that. And, next thing you know, I'm sharing my story. He gives me a platform, to share my message with the Tulsa community and the community at large. And, I'm on the Ram crew. By the time I leave Tulsa, I haven't even finished my ride yet, and they already signed me up for another one. And so, I finished my ride, and, a lot of times, I like to say that journey hasn't ever ended, because actually after my ride finished, I was still suicidal. You know, I was still looking for something. It was because I didn't think I was enough. You know, I had looked everywhere. I'd ridden 3,000 miles, and finally Mike came, you know, invited me back to Tulsa. And we did a lot of soul searching together. I did a lot of soul searching with this team, with these people. They put their arms around me, and you know, it's pretty special to you know, to see that jersey go across the finish line, because I know it could have been on that jersey. And for everybody, you know, to carry me along and to love on me like this, it's pretty amazing, you know. And to see that jersey cross the finish line and know that those people didn't die in vain, you know, they're not going to be forgotten, is pretty incredible. And I'm just so glad I got to be a part of this, and I get to be a part of this group of people, and that they've shown me so much. You know, I'm forever grateful. So yeah, thank you.
You asked about the starfish. Here's the story on the starfish. A little boy's walking across the beach, sees nothing but starfishes along the shoreline, appearing to be dead. He starts throwing them in the water. A man walks up to him and says, "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm throwing the starfish back in the water so that they'll live." And the man says, "You're not going to save these starfish." He goes, "Well, I just saved that one." And that's Carter.
Wonderful team. Thank you so much for coming up and sharing your stories with us. Again, seems a little irrelevant right now, but 7 days, 19 hours, and I believe 34 minutes. 34 minutes. Great job.